Now join me in welcoming UNL student Matan Gill with Don't Change Your Life, Change Your World.
Bear with me. My mom said this would be just like your bar mitzvah speech, but I didn't have a PowerPoint then. So here we go. This is me at the age of 7, scuba diving in the Red Sea, taking a picture of myself. I grew up on the Red Sea in a town called Eilat in Israel. Happy Rosh Hashanah to everyone. Today we celebrate the Jewish New Year. But it was spending so much time underwater. I pretty much spent every weekend underwater. It was then where I was able to develop a true appreciation for nature, a true appreciation for the ecosystems that we depend on. But it was also then where I was able to see some of the effects that humans have on their environment. I saw some of the effects caused by recreational divers and fishermen to the coral reefs. I saw some of the effects caused by wastewater runoff, and also the effects of algae growth by fish farms. And it was then when I decided that I'll dedicate a portion of myself throughout my life to preserving this, to preserving it for myself, for others, and for generations to come. And so it wasn't until I came to college, though, when I was able to have an impact that was greater than myself, to truly be an agent of change. Change, though, that sadly is in compromise. I'm a senior now and will be graduating in May. And I am unable to find someone that's willing to take over. Someone that's willing to dedicate themselves to continue on with this charge of making this university a more sustainable campus and educating the community and the students to become better stewards of their environment. And I couldn't really understand why. Because there have been so many students that I've interacted with throughout the last 3 years, so many students that have worked on my team and my committees, and so many people that have attended our events, and really indicated that they do care about the environment. And so I couldn't really understand why was no one willing to lead. And you know, I created the infrastructure, I created the committees, I created the documents. I even have a document that would take the next leader 15 years into the future with a step-by-step plan on what to do to make us more sustainable. And still no one was willing to lead. So I finally went to those people and asked them why. And they said, Matan, time. Sorry, I don't have enough time. Now's not the right time. Maybe after college I'll dedicate myself to something like this. You know, I just don't have enough time. And that's really what scares me. That's why I'm here today, to talk to you. And I truly believe that everyone on this campus and everyone in this community has a passion, has an idea, or has a cause that they believe in, and they can do something that will make our world better in one way or another. Students on this campus care about arts, technology, government, economics, Haiti, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, food, poverty, water. And I know this because I spent the last 4 weeks interviewing random students on campus, talking to them about what they're passionate about. And take, for example, Steve. I met him at the union 2 weeks ago. I asked Steve, what are you passionate about, man? What do you think is important to you nowadays? And he says, you know, I think what's important to me right now is that I dedicate time to my academics, and I graduate from college, and I invest in myself. Yeah, I think that's what I should do. And I said, come on. There's got to be something that's greater than yourself that you think is important. He said, okay, give me a second. And sat there for about 15 minutes. I drank my coffee, so I was fine. And 15 minutes later, he goes, I've got it. I know what it is. I know. Here. I went to school in rural Nebraska. And when I came to school, I was at a real big disadvantage. My roommate came in with 15 credit hours of AP credit, advanced placement courses, and I came in with none. And you know why? Because I didn't have those opportunities to take those courses in my school. It was such a small school that we didn't have, you know, the teachers to teach those courses. And so what I want to do is I want to implement technology, web conferencing technology, in schools in Omaha and in schools in rural Nebraska and the rural parts of the state, so that someone like me could sit in on a class that's going on in Omaha, you know, and gain that knowledge. I don't want people to be at a disadvantage just because they're from rural Nebraska. So I said, wow, that's a great idea. So we sat there for the next 20 or so minutes. you know, and he just went on with how he's going to do it, how he's going to implement it. And so later on I said, okay, so what are we going to do? I said, what are we going to do? Because I was sold on that. That was a great idea. And he says, well, you know, let's be honest, I really don't have enough time to, you know, to invest in this. You know, I don't think I could do it. I really kind of want to live the college experience right now. You know, I don't want something like this to sacrifice my college experience. And so I told him, you know, that's not true. Me, like everyone else, you know, we want to go to football games. I'm going to one tomorrow. We all want to go on crazy spring break road trips. I went to California with 6 of my best friends. Everybody wants to go to crazy theme parties. I go to those all the time. I love them. I even studied abroad over a summer. I went to Rio de Janeiro and the rest of Brazil. Look at that. I even conducted my own research last year. My involvement in being passionate about what I've done did not deteriorate and did not detract from my college experience. Now I want to share with you a few of the assumptions that I made and connections that I made that truly enabled me to do that. And as I go through them, I think it's more important that you think about what you can do, think about your ideas rather than what I've done. So the first concept that I realized, and college students are going to hate me for saying this, you will never have more time in your life. You will never have more free time in your day. I don't know how it is, and we always think that an 8 to 5, you know, a 9 to 5 workday only consumes 8 hours of your day. You don't have homework afterwards. You're free to use that time as you wish to do the things you love. And that's not true. I've never seen a professional that has free time on their hands. And I don't know what consumes their day because I'm not there yet. We'll focus on me right now, but things happen, complexities happen. So the realization that you'll never know what will consume your time next, so why not act now? That's really what enabled me to do what I've been able to do. The next concept that I want to talk about is realizing that there are 24,207 students on this campus. Some of those students must share the same passion that I do. Some of them also share a vision of becoming a more sustainable campus, of making this university a better steward of its environment. And so you seek out those people and you find them and you bring them onto your team. And you invest in them and you get to know their strengths and their weaknesses, and together you become a cohesive team with a shared mission. You know, my team innovates far beyond what I've been able to do, and they also share the workload with me, allowing me more time to party. So that was the second connection I was able to make. The next connection I was able to make, here's my team, lovely people, and our mission, is that you've got resources, and free resources too. Resources like older students. When I entered the university, there was a senior, his name was Mitch Payne, it was his birthday yesterday, and he handed me a stack of papers. He also shared the same vision that I had. He gave me a stack of papers, lessons learned, on how to make this a more sustainable campus. And those served as the basis of what I've done for the last 3 years. There are also resources like graduate students, like my friend Prabhakar Shrestha, who took time out of his rigorous PhD curriculum to teach me how to fill out a grant that I was able to submit today. There are resources like paid university staff that will support your every move. Resources like professors that will provide you with data to back up your every claim. Resources like this free hall that will allow you to meet, have events, and promote your cause. So taking advantage of those resources is really what will enable you to have an impact. Another important thing is that failing is okay. And this is really the greatest thing about this campus and being in an educational institution, is realizing that, you know, if I pursue my passion and I fail, nothing's going to happen. No one's going to fire me. It's not even going to affect my GPA. I believe that failure stifles innovation. You know, think of what your mind can do if you don't have to fear failure. The next topic that I realized was that you can't rely on what you were taught in class. Although I really believe in the value and the importance of in-class education, It's not unless it's combined with out-of-class experiences where its true value is met. You know, an employer is not going to seek you out based on the experiences, on your 4.0 GPA. He'll seek you out on that, of the experiences that you had out of class. That's really what's going to set you apart. And that is my message. That's what I've been able to do here. I think that our world is becoming more complex every day. There are going to be more issues that are going to be dealt with, more problems that are going to have to be solved. And I think it is up to us to be the leaders of the future. I think it's up to us to take the chance and contribute in whatever way we can. So, thank you for your time.